Hi everybody, it's Jaffe Jones. I hope you can hear me. If you're hearing some Beach Boys music in the background, it's because it's the music that is precluding the celebration of the Lido Beach Renourishment project, which is probably the biggest story that this area has seen in years. And this has been going on, according to one city official I spoke to here, for since the 1990s. So just a huge, big deal. And they're going to have city officials speak, and I'm going to be ad-libbing until it starts. It's supposed to start at 11, which is right about now Eastern time. And I think a lot of the city officials are here, the Army Corps of Engineers. I have been learning as much as I can about this project, which has been really quite fascinating. So some of the people you will probably hear speaking as we go along here to talk about, what this did for the environment, what the battle between Siesta Key and Lido Key, because Siesta didn't want their sand removed from the pass that separates the two barrier islands. But that's all been resolved, and we are going to be recording this as best we can here and just walk around, just love the Beach Boys, and just many, many people who are coming out to celebrate the addition of 300 feet of sand. So pretty cool. And I'm getting messages on my screen. We'll stop that here. And again, I guess that we're on Eastern time here, so maybe on the West Coast people are still sleeping. But we have shown in recent days from my still shots, you can see how much sand has been here, how far it is to the shoreline. And at the end of the program here, they're going to walk everybody down to the beach, and there's going to be some tossing of beach balls. So we are going to keep walking along here. There are some law enforcement here and city officials who have just been so excited because this has been such a long time in coming here. So looks like it's media is here in full force. And so you're a commissioner?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm doing a Facebook Live.
Sure.
I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Whoop-de-doo.
Wow.
But anyway, lots of folks in Sarasota who will be watching this.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me how you're feeling today. What does this represent?
This is an amazing, momentous occasion for us as a city and a community. This has taken over 20 years, and the collaboration that's gone into this is just monumental. And so to actually see this come to fruition and having, done a program that is going to be something that's going to be perpetuated and maintained throughout the years is so progressive, and I'm really proud of all the entities that coordinated to make this happen.
How many different agencies and organizations do you think?
I'm going to guess 10-ish. Yeah, and generations of commissioners and county commissioners and city commissioners and all the organizations and the citizens and the community have all come together. This is just an incredible collaborative effort.
Awesome. And I've been remiss. Your name is?
Jen Ahern-Koch, Sarasota City Commissioner at Large.
Well, thank you very much for doing
this.
Thank you. Being here.
Thank
Great.
you.
Good morning, ladies.
All right. So there you have it, the collaboration of lots of different organizations. And I'm carrying some information in my hand that I'm going to sit down, including my car key. So we are, excuse the weird angle here. Hope it wasn't looking up anything too weird other than my nose hairs. All right, so just trying to keep the microphone close and see what we can see. I think people are getting organized here, and the official drinks, and yes, we're getting the beach ball started. All right, so everybody is getting organized, and we're going to get a front row seat here so you can see everything that's going on. Let's try and hop in under the shade. I'm actually going to go back by the speakers because my microphone is very directional. If we have speakers, no, those are just music speakers. All right, we'll just get close to the microphone. So the communications director for Sarasota is here organizing this, and we spoke a little bit briefly, and maybe we'll just hop a chair here. Oops. Maybe these, I don't know if these are reserved or not, but as we used to say in the media, do it, assume permission until you don't have it anymore. I'm guessing the guy in Army fatigues is with the Army Corps of Engineers. And they, from my experience in the media, they have to approve everything. They have to, approve the dredging, the plans for it, and it's just not an overnight thing. And it's interesting asking different people how long you've been working on this project, and you get anything from a few years to a few decades. And as one official said, it just depends what you mean by the word begin or start. So I think everybody's going to be introduced as we move along here, and hopefully my battery will last this long. And it's possible we may dump out of this if I'm getting low battery, because I need to shoot some things for my YouTube channel as well. But it's kind of an interesting day here. As you can see, gorgeous as usual on Lido Key. I used to live on Anna Maria and was talking about that earlier before, but people have their tents up, and if you want a little respite from the sun, there's certainly different ways to do that. Lots of different beach umbrellas and tents that you can get that just are easy to assemble, much easier than they used to be. So in television world, we used to call this ad-libbing, and I'm going to put my key down and try not to lose it. All right, you can see behind me the chairs are filling in, and I guess they're waiting for certain officials to be here, but there you have it. It looks like we have a couple of commissioners who have not filled the seats there. So, the discussion about is beach renourishment worth it? Well, certainly it's Florida, right? So tourism is the number one thing we have to be concerned about, and yet protecting the environment as well. And, the bottom line in the interview that I did with one of the city officials before is that the channel where the sand came from between Lido Key and Siesta Key had to be dug out anyway for there to be clear passage, and the dredging of these channels happens on a regular basis anyway. So it was coordinating it so that everybody would get what they wanted in terms of not being negatively impacted. It was interesting to note, as one city official said, that Siesta actually grew their beach as a result of that, and that was the big fear, that dredging the channel between Lido Key and Siesta would be a problem. All right, here we go. Any takers? A few crimes.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Jan Thornburg. I am the Senior Communications Manager for the City of Sarasota. And welcome to our Lido Beach Renourishment celebration. This is 20 plus years in the making. 20 plus years. A lot of agencies were involved with it, a lot of partnerships, a lot of individuals. And one who was involved with it pretty much right from the very beginning was our city engineer, Alex Davis Shaw. And not everyone may know this, but Alex is officially going to be retiring from the city after 31 years of dedicated service, coming up in a couple of years. I wish it was a couple more years. So I can't think of any any better way to kick off our ceremony than hearing from Alex herself to give us a little bit of history and the highlights behind the Lido Beach Renourishment.
Thank you very much, Jan. Thank you all for being here. And, well, can you believe it? It took us a little while to get here, but it's definitely worth it. And I'm sure in the 1990s, when then city engineer Dennis Daughters started talking about the need for a long-range shoreline protection project with Rick Spadoni and Cliff Truitt, our longtime coastal engineers, and John Kirker, who was the chair of the beach committee, and then city manager David Sollenberger, they had no idea that it was going to take this long before we had our beach celebration. But on the positive note, if we had finished it right then, we'd be halfway through our 50-year protection project. So now we have 50 years of a beautiful protected shoreline to look forward to. And while this was a small project, only 1.5 miles long, it was a very complex project, and it took dedicated effort from many, many people to get where we are today. It truly was a community effort. And while I'd like to mention some people and thank them for the project and their help along the way, I want everyone to know that so many people worked on this project, and for every name that's mentioned, there's 5 or 10 other people that did something to help this project get where it is today. And I appreciate everybody's help, whether it was attending public meetings or writing letters of support, or whatever you did to help get this day where we are. It was instrumental in our having a celebration. So thank you all very much. It did take years of planning, design, and modeling to get ready to apply for our permit. It was a huge effort by both the Army Corps and our coastal consultants. So I want to give a big thank you to Lieutenant Colonel Paul Pope, who's here with us, Milan Mora, PE Chief Water Resources Branch Manager, who was here through some of the most challenging steps, and he probably has as many scars on his back as I do for all the beatings we took in the meetings. And some of those early meetings were pretty contentious, and we got through it, and we provided people with all the information, and I think that really not only answered questions, but made the project better, because we did look at all the concerns, and if there's things that needed to be adjusted, the Corps worked and looked at everything, and we have just an amazing project here. We also had help from Corps staff members and other folks. Tristan Brown, Chief Florida Project Section, he was also instrumental in helping us get here, as well as Aaron Duffy, PE, resident engineer, Andy Cummings, project engineer, Kenny Poindexter, Brian Merrill, Kaylee Legault, Brandon Birch, Sergio Alvarado, Jason Engel, and James LeBron, and others who worked tirelessly on helping us get to where we are today. As well as our coastal consultants, Tom Piero, Lauren Floyd, Michelle Pfeiffer with Coastal Protection Engineering, Doris Otero with Aptum, and Cliff Truitt, who has been a part of this project from start to finish and helped keep an eye on, give us guidance and our documentation. And I'd also like to thank Arlena Dominic, who was instrumental in our getting our perpetual easements, which is, they seem like a small undertaking, but really is quite a large effort. So I'd like to thank her. And then finally, after years of design and planning and modeling, we had to get funding. And that was no small effort. So I'd like to thank Michael Willis with the Colored Eye, and Debbie Fleck and all the folks from the Florida Shore and Beach Preservation Association for their help, and the staff of the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Greg Garris, Alex Reed, Bob Brantley, Vince George, Lainey Edwards, and Guy Weeks. Not only that, we had years of meeting with our federal delegation, and over the years we got support from them. So I'd like to thank former Senator Bill Nelson, as well as our current senators, Marco Rubio and Rick Scott, and our U.S. Representative Bert Buchanan. Without their support and help, we wouldn't have been able to get the project funded. And also thanks to Manatee County and Charlie Hunsaker, our folks from Remote Marine Lab who do our turtle monitoring, and the Audubon Society who will be doing our shorebird monitoring. And then after years of getting our permit, the Corps went out for bid, got a contractor, and we got a wonderful contractor. They were very responsive. When we got calls from the community with questions or about a concern, they addressed it right away. I want to thank Ben Control, Mike Kay, Ray Control, Devin Carlock, Alfred Clemens, Andy Clemens, Austin Belden, and their subcontractors, Earth Tech Enterprises, Robert Rogers, and the staff from Dial Cordry and Associates and Gray Seismic Monitoring. project wouldn't have run as smoothly without the help of Sarasota County Board of Commissioners and their willingness to let us use the south staging area. It really shortened the drive that was necessary for building the groins, and it made the project more efficient. So I'd like to thank Sarasota County as well as the county staff who helped immensely in making sure the project runs smoothly and giving us any concerns I had early on. So Sean Yeager, Nicole Rissler, Wendy Chipman, Jonathan Pointer, and from the city, so many people from the city worked on this project that I just don't really want to name anybody because I know I'm going to miss people's names. But we had huge help from every department: Public Works, Neighborhood Development Services, Parking, Communication, you name it, Police Department. Everybody worked on this project to make sure we could have a successful and beautiful project. And all along the way, we worked closely with the Lido Key Residents Association. They've been here from start to finish, and so I want to send out a huge thank you to all of them, to Carl and Cindy Schaufstahl, to Mark Walsh and the folks from Ocean Properties, for Jay Elsasser, Damien O'Riordan and Dave Perrin with the Ritz, Paul Robbins, and John Kirkham, who's the chairman of the beach committee for a number of years. And now it's time for you all to enjoy this beautiful beach, and it's time for me to turn it over to Lieutenant Colonel Polk. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. 30 years. Thank you for all you've done. And I know this project, as I said, it would not have gotten off without you. Thank you, Mayor Brody, Vice Mayor Rayo, and City County Commissioners alike, and City Manager. Thank you so much for having us here. I am Lieutenant Colonel Todd Polk. I'm the Deputy District Commander for the Jacksonville District, but I am out down in South Florida, focused on South Florida. I'm over in Palm Beach Gardens on the East Coast side, and work very closely with South Florida Water Management District over there. But on behalf of our District Commander, Colonel Andrew Kelly, again, thank you very much. And it's just great to be here and celebrate the completion of the Lido Key hurricane and storm damage reduction project, as we call it here with the alternate. Just so you know, as in, part of that congressional funding, right? That's the key. Those are the things we have to do. And talking about time, right? So the Corps was authorized to start this project, or this SOAR production, in 1999. So truth in lending, that's when I was second lieutenant Polk, just joining the Army. But as we know, there's a lot of great history that's taken on. And through the years of the study and collaboration with our partners here in the city of Sarasota, Sarasota County, the Corps developed this project to meet the present and our future needs, most importantly, for this complex coastline and all the future that we're going to face. And that we see as a real win-win. Whenever we can make beneficial use of sand that's already existing and not have to go so far out, that's always a great thing. This dredge sand, as you said, is about 1.5 miles long, and then, as you can see, we got a full football field's width here right behind us, and it's amazing. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I love it. I think the icing on the cake, though, is the 2 protective groins right down here, and help trap the sand from the beach erosion. That's what will help keep it here where it needs to be. And we're pleased with the solid working relationships that we've built with, the city of Sarasota and your staff. And you can see, and I hope you'll enjoy the beauty and protection this collaboration has produced. To our partners, our Sarasota partners, thank you again to work with the Corps and help us. It is, again, a preservation for the best future for your residents and your visitors, of course. I'd love to again also thank all of our contractors on this project, Cottrell Contracting, and again, Earth Tech, for delivering this project. Very well done. Thank you. I do really again, some more truth in lending. Our reputation rides on how well they perform, and they did a fantastic job, and they really got it done in just the past few years. So again, I just want to thank the people of Sarasota for working with the Corps of Engineers. You delivered this strengthened and more resilient coastline for your benefit and the benefit of many generations to come. And again, thank you very much. And I would like now to introduce Mayor Brody.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you. Oh, man. Welcome, everybody. I just want to take a kind of turn the calendar back a couple of years and just remind everybody how dire this situation really was not so long ago. If you look over here to your left, this little area of green that jaunts out, kind of a groin, so to speak, from before, the water was literally crashing up on that that area. And there's a little path that we all had to cut through, if you remember, to get to the other side of the beach. Well, of course, no more. We have hundreds of yards or feet of beach here that everybody is going to be able to enjoy for a very long time. So I also wanted to recognize County Commissioner Christian Ziegler is here today, and just thank him and the county for the partnership, the ongoing partnership that makes this community asset possible for our community. This is an ongoing relationship and cooperation between the county and city to provide this beach every day for our residents and our visitors alike. So thank you, Christian. Alex did a great job on the thank yous. I just wanted to add mine and thank everybody that contributed to this project for literally decades. It's truly an honor to be part of the city that brought it to fruition and finalized. But I know so many hands have been on this project for years and years and years, from the community to our public servants to federal, state, local level. I mean, it's really been an incredible partnership. I just want to talk a little bit about water quality for this community, because you cannot enjoy these beaches without water quality. This commission, water quality is one of the most important things that we are addressing and continue to address in the city of Sarasota. We've all seen the devastating impacts of red tide and what can happen when our water is not top quality. And that's why, as a city, the city of Sarasota is investing millions of dollars upstream, a lot with the county's partnership and help, to cleanse water of the nutrients that they collect through the stormwater process before they hit our precious bay, estuaries, and Gulf. And so with projects like the Jaffe Jones Water Quality Improvement Project and the Bay Water Quality Improvement Project, we're literally cleansing billions of gallons of stormwater. And why that's so important for us, we're a coastal community. Whether we like it or not, we have a heightened sense of responsibility for that last mile as water runs off the state of Florida and into these gulfs, because it affects us the most. And so we're going to continue to do that, continue to keep our water clean that enters these waterways and protects these beaches. The beach is obviously a community gem for this area, but more so than that, when I reflect on what made Sarasota so great even to get to this point, the beach is clearly one of the top assets that has brought our community so much prosperity, so much success, and also just so much recognition across the country as one of the best communities to live in. And so as we look to the future for generations to come, one of the things that weighs on us in this commission is always, how are we going to reinvent these community assets so that Sarasota stays at the top of the places to live and retire, and how are we going to provide these assets for future generations, future families to enjoy. And so this project is really a manifestation and a realization that we really are stewards of these assets and need to make sure that they are in place and resilient, and therefore many generations of Sarasotans to come. So with that, I appreciate everybody being here, and I'd like to introduce our Vice Mayor, Eric Arroyo. Thank you all.
It's a beautiful day today. To the 10 of you that haven't shown up to City Hall to yell at me, my name is Eric Arroyo. I'm the Vice Mayor of Sarasota, and also have the honor of being a City Commissioner with my colleagues here. This project has been the culmination of Alex Davis Shaw and the whole team in Sarasota, but you've overseen the entire process for 25 years. We now have a permanent partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers, and it's going to be great for everyone, for the entire region. And as we look forward to our priorities in the future, it's water quality, water quality, water quality. And they say you don't bring sand to the beach, but today, we make an exception. So thank you all. I'm going to introduce Commissioner Jenny Hancock.
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank you all for being here today to celebrate this momentous occasion for us. As you all have heard, this has been an incredible collaborative and generational project. There have been so many agencies, local, state, federal, that have collaborated and worked really hard to bring this project over the finish line. When I started getting involved in the city a little over 20 years ago, and one of the first things I did was to join CCNA, which is the Coalition of City Neighborhoods Associations. Carl Schaafstal and I sat at the tables, we'd set them up, we'd break it down in the room at the fire station, and this was when this project was just getting started. My oldest son was 6 years old at the time, and my youngest son wasn't even born. He just turned 19 last week. So when you are involved in something like this that is honestly a generational project, that the ball literally gets carried from commissioner to commissioner, from staff member to staff member, from organization to organization, you finally get to this day. I just want to thank all the people that came before us here at the commission. I want to thank this current commission, of course, but former commissioners, since I've been involved on the commission, Commissioner and former Mayor and Commissioner Freeland Eddy and Shaw and others who lobbied at state and local levels to be able to get the funding for this, which was mentioned earlier by Alex Davis Shaw. And before them, there were commissioners who kept lobbying. I remember when we met Senator Rubio out here on the beach, and the beach was literally this big at the time. That was Commissioner Alpert and Mayor Brody and myself at the time. And he just couldn't believe what he saw. He remembered the beach, how it was, saw the way it was. And it's those little, combination of all those little efforts that kept this project moving forward. It's also former city manager Tom Barwin and current city manager Marlon Brown. Pass that ball, keep it moving forward. From staff, it's definitely Alex Davis Shaw comes to my mind when I think of this. I don't want to give you all the credit, but she is the one that people would yell at, and people would thank, and people would go to. And those people are especially Carl Schaafstal and Cindy Schaafstal, mobilized this neighborhood and got people informed about what the next steps were, everything that they had to do to advocate for this project. And so it's truly a collaborative effort. And with that, I just want to say to everyone, please enjoy our beach, enjoy the newly renovated pavilion, and have a beautiful day, and thank you all again.
All right, everybody, we're going to sign off. Hope you enjoyed that.